How's it going? Good morning to everyone across the world. Really, it's NBA betting today. Another live stream. It's My Guy Knows a Guy on Thursday, March 24th, 2022. I am joined. You can just take, yeah, I'll take you off mute, bro. I did that. Uh, haven't had a guest on here for a while. Joined by my friend, my special guest, J Soul Picks. You guys make sure you show him some love on Twitter at J Soul Picks. And go ahead and introduce yourself, bro. Big NBA better right here. He's into the NBA lifestyle. How's it going? Good morning.
Hey, my guy knows the guy. I appreciate you for having on. First of all, man, I admire your work, and it's an honor to be on the show. Yeah, so I strictly cap NBA. You can find me on Reddit. That's kind of where I frequent. So I post there every day. That's where I track all my picks. You could also follow me, like Friday said, on Twitter, JSoul Picks. And I started doing late night breakdowns for the following slate. You can find that show on YouTube, JSoul Picks. Try to post a video live stream every night. So I usually cap the games the night prior, so you could check that out. And yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, 100%, bro. What's the tell him after the bit of a rough start, maybe in November, but things got better in December. How's the NBA season been going for you overall? Just before we get into this slate, we're welcoming some people in. If you guys can't hit the like button as well.
Yeah, 100%. Don't forget to hit that like. But yeah, so man, been posting on Reddit since the beginning of the season. I was actually down 23 units, kept posted. I don't know if you guys are familiar with NBA forum on Reddit. It's on Sportsbook, but man, managed to turn around, got hot at the right time. And to this day, 300 and 320 and 260 overall season record. We're up 57 units, so looking to keep it going. This last couple week was kind of tough, but it's the NBA, guys. It could be volatile at times, but uh, let let's see if we could turn it around and hopefully provide some value on the show.
Hell yeah, let's get to it, bro. It's not that many games today. Tomorrow's schedule looks pretty appetizing. I did want to pop out yesterday and post some picks, but it's just crazy, bro. Personal life got in the way. I had to clean up a mess or two, and just wasn't able to. But I probably wouldn't have been a very popular guy yesterday. I like some pretty extreme contrarian looks, but today's another day. Some pretty good matchups. The Suns are playing on a back-to-back against the Nuggets, the team that they swept in the playoffs. Suns in 4. It might be back tonight, traveling back up to the altitude. We do have a pretty decent matchup between the Pelicans and the Bulls. If these key guys play, the Bulls are still locked into a playoff race. But the game of the night on paper definitely seems to be the Cavaliers versus the Toronto Raptors. My Toronto Raptors. That doesn't really mean much in the betting world, but the Raptors are favored by 4.5 against the Cleveland Cavaliers. This line opened up at -3. The Cavs have had their way. They've had their way with the Raptors as of late. Obviously, these are different lineups that these teams are putting forth compared to the previous matchups. But we have some opening thoughts on this game. How do you feel about this game tonight? It's huge for the standings. Absolutely
Yeah,
huge.
yeah, this is going to be a big game, playoff atmosphere for sure. Yeah, initially, I was looking at the dog. I was looking at Cleveland on the road, taking the points. A couple key stats here: Raps are 0-5 ATS last 5 home games and 1-5 straight up. So lately, the Raps haven't been playing well at home. This would be a revenge game for the Raps as they lost, I believe, the last 2 meetings against this Cavs team. Uh, but one thing that kind of was hesitant on. Would be the first game on the road for the Cavs after a long homestand. So it's usually a fade spot for me. Overall, it's just a pass, but I actually lean the Cavs here.
Yeah, it's crazy when I dug into the numbers. Yeah, I lean the Cavs initially as well, just when it comes to the surface level numbers. But without Jared Allen, it's just a different look for the Cavs today. I had to switch my opinion on this game. No hometown fandom involved in this game. You look at the Raptors in the standings, Jay. They're 2 games behind the Cavaliers in the standings. It's a dogfight right now. 10 games to go. I don't think they're going to catch the Bulls. Well, the Bulls, their schedule is very difficult as well. Actually, that remains to be seen. It's up in the air. But this Cavs team without Jared Allen, it's a really different look for them on the front line against the Raptors today, who are undermanned. We know Gary Trent Jr. did not practice yesterday. I think there's a chance he could play today. And OG Anunoby, who's been out for over 5-6 weeks now, I believe he has been upgraded to questionable, which is a positive sign for the Raptors over these last 10 games. But it's still a bit murky. The roster situation tonight's a bit murky, but just with when basketball wise, I really do think that they're thin on the front line with Evan Mobley, with a rookie who has been performing pretty well. Evan Mobley they're going to be pretty thin on that front line. I think the Raptors might swarm on these guys today. This is a really tough game, like you said, because it's uncertain who's going to play for the Raptors tonight, but the line is all over the Raptors and it's moving like in their favor. It's crazy. Like, it's up to -5 at some books right now. What else you got on this game? Did you watch the Cavs game against the Lakers on the weekend?
I didn't, but I'm not surprised that LeBron going back to Cleveland went off. So you got both these teams coming off a loss. So that makes it a little tougher as well. You mentioned the front court mismatch. That's true, but I think there is a mismatch in the backcourt as well with Garland and LeVert. The thing is, Fred VanVleet, he hasn't been 100%. I saw that he has still nursing a knee. He's got some knee soreness. And the last I read, I think it's expected that OG is not going to play. And Gary Trent ultimately is a game time decision. So, yeah, man, I could see this being a one possession game. Maybe the opening line's pretty sharp, but if it keeps going towards the Cleveland, I might have to take the dog here.
Hey, the Cavs, they've been printing money overall. It's interesting you said that about LeVert as well. I want to see how many minutes per game do Garland and LeVert play together over this recent run for the Cavs. It's going to be a tough game tonight. I actually wish I was at this game. I'm going to be going to a game next week against the Timberwolves or Raptors T-Wolves, but I really think if we get Gary Trent tonight, the Raptors could edge these guys today. There is a bit of a revenge factor. Doesn't always apply to every single game, but that one game where they hung 144 on the Raptors earlier in the season, it just doesn't sit well with these guys. It's an injury report game. I do see Garland continuing to distribute. Jay, I don't know how you feel about the props market in this game, but when it comes to his scoring total of 23.5, I like the under for Darius Garland tonight. I do think that just basketball wise, he's going to be more in a position to distribute with Kevin Love, with Evan Mobley, with Lauri Markkanen. All three of those players have benefited greatly in the absence of Jared Allen. Solid pick and roll chemistry with Darius Garland. It's a pretty stifling defense with the Raptors. He's a miniature guard. I just don't really see him being able to get off as he has recently, like against the Lakers and some of their more recent matchups. I'm going to end up playing a small bet here on Darius Garland under 23.5 points. It's not going to be very popular, but I think it's going to hit light day today, Jay. You have any other thoughts on this game, bro?
Yeah, I could see that Garland prop going under. What I noticed about these Cavs game, Garland to me seems like a pass first point guard. I noticed in the first half his goal is to distribute the ball, get his team good looks, and then in the second half, if he needs to take over, he'll start to take over and put up more shots. So that's what I noticed about Garland. I could definitely see the going under the points there. So I like it.
Yeah, it should be tough. Yeah, I'm gonna end up playing a small bet on Darius Garland under 23.5. Let's see how it goes. Big game tonight. I'm rooting for my Raptors, and I actually, we're on the opposite side here just in terms of our lean, but I switched over overnight just looking at this a bit deeper. I need Gary Trent Jr. to play tonight, but if he does, I probably will jump on the Raptors. I may lose some value here. I actually want to jump on it now. Just want to say that, and it's just one of those days. Let's move on to the next game, and we can talk about the Bucks and the Wizards. Actually, no, let's talk about the Bulls and the Pelicans. Bulls versus Pelicans. We have a line flip here. The Bulls were favored last night. You didn't do a live stream last night, right? No.
Dropped a quick live stream last night. Yeah.
Yeah, the Bulls were favored last night. It was -1. It flipped overnight. I saw video of Brandon Ingram returning to practice. How do you feel about this game? The Bulls, one thing I can say is, they have fallen off. It is what it is. The Bulls fell off. Their schedule got really, really difficult, and they haven't been able to absorb the blow. It's really, really alarming what's happened to this team. Just look at their ATS cover streak. I know you're well aware of this. How do you feel about this Pelicans-Bulls matchup, which is still pretty big for both teams tonight?
This is my only look on today's slate. I made it official last night on yesterday's live stream. I have the Pelicans +1. I like them in the spot. I faded them the last couple of games against Atlanta, Charlotte, and they proved me wrong. I'm buying into this Pelicans team. A couple key stats here that support my pick. Bulls have won and covered 4 of the last 5 meetings, which is so historically the Bulls own the Pelicans last 5 games, but I think the Pelicans, this is a little bit different team with CJ McCollum. Pelicans do have the rest advantage. This is Bulls' 3rd game in 4 nights, and they're on the road. This is not a good spot for the Bulls. They're 1-5 ATS last 5 against the West. They're 0-8 ATS last 8 road games. And Pels are number 2 in defensive efficiency the last 3 games. Bulls are number 26 in that span. So all signs point to the Pelicans here for me. I know they just come off a 3-game road trip coming back home. That doesn't worry me. I like the Pelicans here. I made it official +1.
+1, yeah, you got the sharper line. How do you feel about them in the role of a favorite tonight? Is the margin that wide for you, or do the 1 or 2 points not matter?
It doesn't matter to me because I had them winning the game by at least more than 2 possessions. I think it's just going to be a flat spot for the Bulls. I'll still take them at a -1.5, -2 favorite.
Okay, yeah, Larry Nance Jr. is expected to make his debut, right? For the Pelicans today. That's a solid defensive piece for him. He may have an adverse effect. I'm not sure if he's going to start tonight, but he may have an adverse effect on Herb Jones, who's actually been one of the more surprising rookies so far this year, especially with his perimeter defense. Herb Jones has been one of the reasons that the Pelicans' perimeter defense has improved so dramatically. It's just been striking, bro. It's been really, really alarming how far the Bulls have fallen. I know it's not just because of their schedule. You know, they had a COVID outbreak, a couple of COVID outbreaks like everyone else, and an unfortunate string of injuries. But it really does seem like DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Vucevic as a pair have regressed a bit just in terms of their efficiency. And now we see DeMar DeRozan is listed as questionable for tonight, and Zach LaVine has been upgraded to probable for tonight. He hasn't been as efficient as he has been before he had that minor knee procedure. Well, it wasn't really a procedure. He had fluid removed from his knee. Um, yeah, this game, I'm definitely aligned with you on the Pelicans. The Bulls, they're a streaky team for me, ATS. I can't ride the Bulls. I had success with the Bulls when they were winning people a lot of money, but they're a streaky team, ATS. Once they start to slide like this, you really have to wait for them to have a signature performance to jump back on them, because they're not a team that complies with regular contrarian logic where you can take them in bounce back spots, buy low spots. This Bulls team does not comply to any of that contrarian sports betting logic. They either win a lot of games in a row or they lose a lot of games in a row. I'm still a fan of their coach, but I do think it's going to be really difficult for the Bulls to come out of the Smoothie King Center with a win tonight in New Orleans. And yeah, best of luck on that, Jay. I didn't place a bet on this game, but how you feel about some of the key guys tonight, DeRozan, the DeRozan outlook as well, and we can move on to some of these other games. We'll probably just be here for another 10 minutes, everyone. It's a very busy morning getting through the schedule. How you feel about DeRozan playing or not playing tonight, Jay?
Yeah, I think the Bulls are gonna need DeRozan. Of course, but if he's in, I'm not too worried. If you look at their game log, they're losing by margin. These guys lost to Milwaukee by 28. They lose to Phoenix by 27. Utah by 15. Sacramento Kings by 9. This is their last, within the last 5 games. So I'm not too worried with the number here. And yeah, if the Bulls want a chance, they need DeRozan in there. And one thing you mentioned about these Bulls coming back after a loss, I was worried about that too. When you lose, by 25 points or more, it usually teams are motivated to bounce back. But these Bulls have lost by margin and got blown out before, and they're not a bounce back team like that. So I agree with what you're saying. But if the Bulls want a chance, they need DeRozan in there.
Yeah, best of luck, bro. Pelicans, let's go. Big time tonight. Big time game. I'll be watching this one as well. I'm rooting for the Bulls to lose so the Raptors can catch them in the playoff standings in the East. It's really, really tight right now. Let's move on to this. This is the game that I have the least amount of thoughts on. I did watch the second half between the Grizzlies and the Nets. I really liked the Grizzlies yesterday. I know no one in the world did, but it was a really strange line. I know how well this team performs without John Morant. I've actually never lost a bet on the Grizzlies without John Morant. This was a straight sucker bet yesterday against the Nets. Usually in the NBA, the lines get sharper and sharper, as you know, Jay. I know you were betting heavily last season as well. The closer you get to the playoffs, the sharper the lines get, the tougher it gets, because not only do the sports betting public have an ample amount of data, the odds makers do too. They have more data to create sharper lines. So you see the Brooklyn Nets with KD, Kyrie last night -2 against his Grizzlies team. No John Morant. They come out, they shoot lights out. We see this scenario almost every night in the NBA, just with different teams, different faces. Tonight, though, back to back, no John Morant once again. Very young team. I don't know if they know how to come down, but it really does seem like last night was a playoff energy sort of game, and they expended a lot of energy last night. Those are really the only thoughts I have on this game. I'm going to stay away from it because I did capitalize on the Grizzlies blowing the Pacers away about 3 weeks ago in a similar scenario without John Morant in Indiana, and people were taking the Pacers that night. Tonight, I think people will be all over the Grizzlies. But how do you feel about this game, bro? As you can see, I'm a bit torn.
Yeah, I don't have much on this game, but I had the Nets yesterday, man. That burned me. So, one thing I learned about that game is if you like the Nets, just bet Kyrie over or Durant over. Don't take the side because uh, especially and then just don't bet against the Grizzlies. This team, these guys don't let up, man. They're legit. So this game, I would take Memphis. What's it -12.5? I think that number's it should be to me it should be larger. This Indiana Pacers team, they're super volatile. They shoot a lot of threes. If they're not shooting well, they could be blown out by 30 plus. The either two ways I think this game's gonna go. They're gonna get blown out, or maybe they could keep it pretty close, 1 or 2 possessions if they're shooting well from the arc. But all in all, I got no look on this game.
Yeah, you're dealing with a team that situationally in the Pacers, they want to win this. They're supposed to compete in this game. With when you're facing a team like that expended as much energy as they did last night, naturally on the second night of a back to back, I would be looking towards taking the points. But the Pacers are a team. People close to me know the Pacers. Like just like you said, Jay, they're one of the most volatile teams, if not the most volatile team in the NBA. Extremely unpredictable team. They're terrible and they defy logic. If the Indiana Pacers get beat by 50 tonight, or if they won outright, I would not be surprised. But the Grizzlies are a team that I don't fade. I don't fade the Grizzlies. I don't fade the Suns. I don't fade the Celtics. It is what it is. I don't fade those three teams, even when the system says to lean the other way. Those three teams, they have depth. They play all 4 quarters. They have extremely high quality coaching, and they have intangibles that do not show up in the box scores. Diving for loose balls. These guys will be up by 30 and they'll still be diving for loose balls because it's their culture. The Pacers, they have no culture. I really do believe like this sort of contest tonight with the Pacers versus the Grizzlies is gambling. To me, there's a difference between betting and gambling. It's all gambling, right? But this game is gambling. It's not betting. It's gambling. No props or anything like that for me in this game. I do think Jaren Jackson does have an edge. Just like I said during the first matchup against the Pacers, Jaren Jackson does have a distinct edge in the prop market tonight if he plays. If these guys, how do you feel about that as well? Do you get a weird feeling like when the prop market is not available for a game, like you don't see any props for those players?
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of an indicator that someone's sitting out. Something we don't know is happening in the background. So I agree with you. I agree with everything you said there. The Grizzlies, in theory, we would fade this team after that huge game. I think that game was a lot of people bet on that game, and a lot of people probably going to go back to the well with Memphis here. And for that reason, I probably would fade them in the spot, but there's no way I'm doing that. Probably what I would advise if you guys like Memphis, maybe do a live bet because we know the Pacers, they could probably get a lead at some point or keep it close. And maybe that's the time you get some value betting the Grizzlies live.
100%. Yeah, let us know in the chat. You guys go show Jay Love, Jay Soul Picks some love. Sorry, I came out completely wrong. Jay Soul Picks on Twitter. You guys go. Make sure you go give him a follow. He's going absolutely crazy. This guy's up like 70 units since December. Every day is different. Obviously, we're providing the best information that we can. Make your own quality decisions, but I definitely am rocking with J Soul picks. Let's keep it going, bro. Let's move on to another game. I know you have a very busy morning ahead of you. Two more games and we're done. Wizards, Bucks. Things are not exactly set in stone in the East. In terms of seeding, some of these teams, there's a bit of gamesmanship going on heading into this final stretch. I think a lot of these teams are trying to dodge the Nets, Jay. A lot of these teams are
Oh
trying to
yeah.
dodge the Nets. We're seeing some suspicious results. They know the Nets are coming out of that play-in tournament, and they're going to play either the 1 or the 2 seed. Like, so I mean, the Heat, the Bucks, the Sixers. I find some of their games going down the stretch unbettable. Not tonight, but we're going to see some funny results going into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's a hell of a conspiracy, but I could definitely see that because yeah, man, you don't want to play the Nets first round. That's not good, especially Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant and Kyrie, they're looking to make a deep run, especially losing to the Bucks. If Kevin Durant didn't have his toe on the line, they'd probably be the reigning champions right now. So they're on a mission. Um, for this game for the Buck, I have nothing too much to say on this game except I'm not betting against the Bucks. They look like they turned it on this past 10-15 games. They're looking to play serious now. It seemed like midway or early season they didn't seem to care. The reigning champions is usually a team I usually want to fade throughout the season because you're paid a premium to bet on a team like the Milwaukee Bucks. But lately, I think they've been playing pretty well, and I got a buy sign on them.
Okay, yeah. I mean, they haven't had a particular a strong run of dominance. They haven't had a strong run of dominance similar to last year where they were covering 4 or 5 games in a row before they don't cover. Um, Going into tonight's game, I think it's a Giannis night. I do think it's a Giannis night. He let a lot of people down the other day against the Bulls without Chris Middleton. They naturally gravitated towards Giannis. I do think that Giannis has a strong chance to go over. It's a lean for me on his points prop total, but a stronger pick for me in this game. And this one's not going to be very popular because I know Kyle Kuzma's out. We actually discussed this prior. I like Kristaps Porzingis under 20 and a half points, everyone. I do think I know that he's been getting his shots up. He has to be the guy in the absence of Kuzma. They don't have much else. But the script that I'm seeing in this game, I just don't see the efficiency for Porzingis today going up against Giannis. Giannis really does elevate his game when he goes up against other bigs in the league that have a name. Porzingis is not necessarily a star anymore, but he does have a name. They do have a couple of interesting matchups in the past as well. I think the Bucks are going to try to shut down one of the only routes to success tonight for the and they did play stellar defense against the Bulls the other night. I think it carries over to today. It's going to be tough for Porzingis tonight. I know he went over the last 2 games as a contrarian look, but I do like the under 20 and a half for Porzingis. I think he's going to be a big ticket killer tonight. Other than that, in this game, I like Giannis. A riskier play for me would be Contavious Caldwell-Pope. KCP over 2.5 threes. They're setting it pretty high at plus money. I think it's plus 125 at some places. You can reduce it to 1.5 and get it at like minus 160, I believe, which is I believe that's going to hit with almost certainty. The over
That should
one
be
and a half.
easy. Yeah.
Just because he's a vet, they're throwing him out there for abnormal amount of minutes. It's pretty strange. The Wizards are stuck in that purgatory where they're not bad enough to get a top pick, but they're not good enough to make the playoffs. So they're kind of stuck in a tough place. Guys like KCP will still play to prove themselves. I think KCP goes over that 2.5 for plus money for a sprinkle, but I do like Kristaps Porzingis to get shut down tonight under 20.5 points. Let's go. Any thoughts on the total in this game? How you feel? I think the Bucks have a chance to run it up again today. The non-existent defense. I'm just scared of the points. The point spread, Jay. Backdoor. The Bucks. We know when they give up more than 10, it's a potential backdoor game every time they play.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way firsthand. I had a couple Milwaukee Bucks tickets as double-digit favorites, middle of the season, and I got burnt so many times from backdoor covers. Back to your point with Porzingis under, I actually like that prop a lot because I think I could see two paths for that prop is Milwaukee Bucks blowing the Wizards out, them sitting KP, and or KP getting into foul trouble because we know Giannis is going to be in the paint, and he loves getting to the line, so I can see KP getting an early foul trouble, and as a result, that prop should go under. So I actually like that look a lot. And as far as overall totals go, if the Bucks are playing, it's an over or pass for me. I can't bet unders. These guys, they get to the line, and Giannis opens up the perimeter for these guys to rain down the threes. So it's either over or pass. But I'm not a totals guy, but I would lean
Sharp
the over.
totals in the Bucks games too, Jay. They always hover
Yeah.
right around the closing line. The totals of Bucks games, it's really scary. Other than that, we can move on to the final game, which may end up being the other game of the night: the Suns and the Nuggets. Do you, on your end, do you see anything since we've started the live stream about the Suns players tonight and their status? Because the props market was not available for the Suns. I know they played an emotional game last night against the T Wolves. They essentially took the public's money last night, especially in the second half. I actually had DeAndre Ayton to have a crazy, crazy performance in that game, bro. I didn't want to go crazy because I know he was going to play the Nuggets today. He has a stronger matchup, but now it's like, can he repeat that against the Nuggets today on the second night? How do you feel about this Suns game? I'll pull up the stats on the screen. Very interesting game. I need to know who's playing.
Yeah, yeah. Whatever the open up the props market, so what's probably gonna be sitting out here. Um, Especially Phoenix off the back to back. And man, this Phoenix team, like you said earlier, man, there's a couple teams you just don't bet against, and Phoenix is one of them. I've got Bert, these last couple stretches betting against Phoenix. But it's crazy, man. These guys were losing the Kings a couple games ago. They came back in the fourth
They
to
snapped that night. That was a
yeah,
live
it went
betting
to
game.
OT. Yeah, they won by 3 points, and they're down, in Minnesota, and they came back to win this game. It's like, man, maybe if you like the Suns, do a live bet when they're down during this game and get a better line. But, my initial lean was to go with Denver here. I think I like Denver at home because of the rest advantage. Y This is gonna be a playoff atmosphere game. And so I think Denver could cover here, 2 couple possessions, but it's just bad business to bet against the Suns right now. So it's overall a pass for me.
The Suns are live betting machines, bro. I,
100%.
I
Yep.
liked them at the half last night when they were down by 11. Um, these guys are covering machines, and it doesn't matter who really plays for them. It just really a game like today though with the travel, it's different, right? You can lay out the handicapper narratives. These guys are flying up to the mountains. They're flying up to altitude. You're probably going to see that narrative all over the place today, back to back. Who plays? You might even see one or two players listed questionable for this game, just to throw you off. I think the Suns are going to come and win the first half in this game tonight. Everyone, I'm just going to wait to make sure Devin Booker is the one that doesn't play, because obviously it's different if Mikal Bridges, or he's an Iron Man. Mikal Bridges has never missed a game in his career, but Devin Booker, if he plays tonight, I think the Suns are going to come back again tonight and win the first half. Remember, the number one seed is not solidified. The number one seed is not locked in for the Suns with as much winning as they've done, which is really strange. But I think they're about 1 or 2 games away from that. Chris Paul, from what I read, is able to play right now, but they're in no rush to bring him back. I'm sure you saw those same reports. Denver, though, they hate this team's guts. I won't be surprised. Full game. I can't bet Denver. I can't bet Denver in this game. Although, Denver really just wants to take the Suns out. I just think basketball wise, personnel wise, they just don't have enough. When Jokic has to play 48 minutes, like when he comes out of the game, it's an instant run for the Suns. It's a contrarian look to take the Nuggets tonight. Normally, it would make sense to make a case for them, especially since the Suns are traveling backwards across time zones and into the altitude. But I can't bet against these guys, everyone. I like the Suns to win outright, to win the first half outright and potentially the first quarter. I'll probably wait to lock this in. On the Nuggets side, I do like Nikola Jokic to go over 8.5 assists. It's going to be very, very it's going to be very close to that line, but I think it's going to edge over. It's pretty sharp stuff. He has a distinct edge distributing because of the way they double team him. It's going to come down to whether or not the rest of these bums on the Nuggets, because that's what they are without Jokic, everyone. When you take Jokic off this roster, plus
MVP.
minus wise, they become the worst team in NBA history. They just said that like 2 weeks ago.
That's why
You
he's
take Jokic
MVP,
off this
man.
team, they're the worst team in NBA history. How you feel about this, the pace too, Jay? I got excited about the Suns.
I'm not sure. This is going to be, to me, a playoff atmosphere game, and whenever that's the case, I usually lean towards the under. Um, yeah, I could see Yoshis getting over that assist prop. I like that a lot. And overall, I think this game is just it's a good live betting opportunity because if one of these guys get down, they're gonna come back. It's gonna be back and forth. So pregame, I wouldn't probably take I wouldn't take anything. I'll probably look to live bet this game,
Yeah,
in my opinion. And I think this is a playoff revenge, right? Didn't the Denver get knocked out by Suns last
they
season?
did. They did. They got the best. They got the better of them earlier in the season. Then the Suns came back and blew them out by 30 in Denver. So I believe this is the third meeting of the season. I just want to say to everyone watching, this is not an official pick yet. I'm waiting for the injury status in this game. I do lean towards the Suns early in this game. Um, I do lean towards the Suns early in this game. I lean towards Jokic over 8.5 assists, but I really need to know who's playing because I do have a really good feel for both of these coaching staffs. And I'll probably ride with Jay Soul in the live betting angle. I think that the Milwaukee Bucks, the Memphis Grizzlies, and the Phoenix Suns games present um, very, very potentially profitable live betting scenarios if the dogs get off to a positive start in the game. Let's say Denver does get off to a positive start. This Suns team has been money live betting when they're down by 10 or more over in the month of March. So, right now it's not official for me, but Jay Money, I really, really appreciate that. Sorry, I said Jay Money. Jay Money is actually coming on it's really easy to confuse the two. I was talking to Bro yesterday, and he's actually going to be coming on
That's
the
that
show.
dude. Yeah.
Hopefully he feels better. Sending the best of vibes to Jay Money. He's not feeling the best. We had some plans this week, but we'll try to get back to regular business next week. We're trying to attack. We're trying to win. We're trying to combine the brightest minds. We're trying to win as much money as possible. We're trying to attack. We're trying to attack and make as much money as possible. Everyone, make sure you guys follow J Soul Picks on Twitter. Follow me, my guy knows a guy, on Twitter as well, and subscribe to the channel if you are new or not subscribed. If you're watching on Twitter, you're doing us a disservice watching this live stream on Twitter. It's completely disrespectful. Come over to the YouTube app and subscribe. It takes 2 seconds, and also leave a comment too. We've got 80 people watching right now. Let's get 80 comments. That's extreme, right? We didn't even get 5 the other day. Let's get 80 comments if you guys enjoy the content, because there are going to be thousands more videos coming, thousands.
Yeah,
So let's
let us
go.
know what you guys like in this game. Denver and Phoenix. This is a tough one. So let us know in the comments. Who do you guys have? What's the best
100%.
look
Let
on
us
here?
know. Let us know. Let's get to some picks, some leans right now. I'll write it down. What do you like today, Jay? Soul picks, and how do you feel? I know you said tomorrow is a much stronger card for you. How do you feel about today's picks? I'll drop some picks that I'm going to play right now. I have a couple of leans for later. Anything you're locking in for today? I know there's one big one, right?
Yeah, I only have one official play locked in. I had the Pelicans +1. I made that official last night. But hey, I'll make the -1.5 official too. I think they should be able to win this. Again, just a key point here. The Bulls, when they lose, they've been losing by margin. And when the Bulls are on the road, that's when we want to fade them. The 0-8 ATS last 8 road games. So I like the Pels here. And that's the only thing I got official small play. And I lean the Cavs, but I'm probably not going to get there. I do like that Porzingis under 20.5 points as a prop in Washington Milwaukee game. So I might tell you on that, man. I like that look a lot. What do you have today?
100%. I'm riding with you, bro. I'm riding with you. The record speaks for itself. Let's keep it going, bro. Every day is a day, another day. Today, everyone, I have a strong lean towards the Raptors, and I have a strong lean towards the Suns in the first half. I'm going to wait just a bit before I lock those bets in because the injury status for just about every game today is a bit murky. But I am going to lock in Darius Garland under 23 and a half points, and I'm going to lock in Kristaps Porzingis under 20 and a half points as well. I'm also going to play Jokic of the Nuggets over 8.5 assists for a smaller bet. And so let's see how it goes. I might be adding the Raptors and the Suns. My newsletter is going out shortly for the people that are signed up. Make sure you guys hit the link that's pinned to the top of my Twitter. Sign up for the newsletter. You guys will get a free issue of my paid newsletter. You get a free issue of that, picks, write-ups every day. Follow J Soul Picks on Twitter. That's my bro. He will be back. We'll be doing more content in the future. And yeah, we'll be back. It's NBA Betting Today, the live stream. Have a great morning, everyone. Bet responsibly and leave a like on the video as well. Let's keep it going. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm jumping into some World Cup qualification stuff as well, everyone. So turn notifications on Twitter. Not everyone's into that. Any parting words, Jay Soul, and we'll get out of here.
Yeah, once again, man, I really appreciate it. It's an honor to be here. Thanks for having me on the show, and yeah, definitely look forward to future shows. So, best of luck, guys, and yeah, again, bet responsibly, and let's make some cash today.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Everyone enjoy your day. Stay positive. Leave a like on the video. Drop a comment. We'll see you guys later. Best of luck to all.